and welcome to day 69 of our 2790 series. Today we're going to finish Paul's first letter to Timothy, chapters 4, 5, and 6. And again, Paul encourages Timothy now. And remember, this is not to be read out loud to the church. It's a personal letter between two individuals. At least that's the intention. And he says to them that he understands that there are teachers out there who are bringing the law back into the church, and even teaching things like they forbid people to be married because Jesus has already come back, or he's coming back any minute now. And they go back to dietary laws of what you can eat and not eating. And again, talking about the circumcision group that is following Paul around from city to city. They usually wait a few months after he leaves, and then they come in and they teach a false doctrine to many of the churches that Paul started. And this is a pervasive problem in the early church. Paul encourages Timothy. He said, listen, don't let people tell you that you don't know what you're talking about just because you're young. Paul understands that the Spirit of the living God is not one that is restrictive of you have to be old or you have to be a man, but the Spirit of the living God can come upon anyone, and they can have tremendous wisdom. So he encourages Timothy, don't let people talk down to you just because you're a young man and I've appointed you to be the leader of the church. And then he wants to encourage Timothy to teach something to his people that is of vital importance. And we, the church, we need to hear this. It's not really a theology. It's not a correction of a negative behavior, but rather imploring them toward a positive behavior in their life. He says, listen, teach your people that everyone is responsible for taking care of their own family. You should take care of your wife and your children and your parents. And if someone is a widow, it's the responsibility of the church to take care of that believing woman because she needs the church. If there are orphans in your midst, it's the responsibility of the church to take care of the orphans. If there are people who are hungry, we should share food. We should share clothing. And one of the greatest faults that we have as a church is we've handed off our responsibility to the government, so that the government now is responsible for taking care of the people that the church really should have its arms around and be caring for. And so Paul ends this letter by encouraging Timothy. He says, listen, godliness with contentment is great gain. I know those people are trouble, but you need to learn how to allow your godliness to bring peace and contentment into your life, no matter what people are saying to you or even about you. And so pursue the truth, and pursue it and be happy and content in what God's called you to do.